How you doing today, folks? This is going to be a review for the SOG Instinct. This is a mini kind of micro fixed blade, primarily designed as a neck knife, but you can definitely carry it on your belt. Now, I've carried this on me every single day for the last about a week and a half. This is a very cheap knife. I did pay about $22 from this on the secondary market. You can get them for much less than that sometimes. The person who I happened to buy it from actually had it on sale for $10. They told me why they were selling it. I offered them more because it's just a good cause. So, as far as the positives with this knife, we're going to speak about those first. The ergonomics are fantastic, and I cannot stress this enough how crazy that is. This is a small knife. I have an entire pinky sticking off and most of my index finger sticking off, and it still somehow carries so well. That is insane. It just holds in the hand very, very nicely. Does this give me some crazy reassurance? Honestly, it kind of does. Again, the way it holds for a small knife is absolutely incredible. And again, if you happen to have smaller hands, then this thing is even more perfect. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the company SOG in general. The steel is kind of lackluster for me. A lot of the fit and finishes tends to be pretty poor. This sheath is decidedly average. It's has a whole bunch of branding on it. Never really my thing. Very kind of mall rat, mall ninja type of thing to it. But again, the ergonomics for this knife surprised me so much. Now, when I first got this in hand, I was like, okay, I don't know why I did this. I'll just throw it on the channel as a giveaway and probably never carry it. But I actually started carrying it. I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it a shot. And this little knife surprised me so much. Now, one, as you guys know, I like big ass knives. I like huge folders. I routinely carry a 5-inch blade on me every day. And that's just how I tend to enjoy my current cutlery and everything else. So to have this and to have it fit so well, it's genuinely shocked me. Now, there are some very negatives to this. First off, this came completely dull. I mean, it barely even had an edge on it at all. There was just a little bit of a grind, and that was pretty much about it. So that was immediately a pretty big downside. Secondly, I had to actually sand off this piece right here, because when I first held it in hand, I gave it a nice firm grip and it cut me. This piece was, the QC on this knife was so poor that there was just an actual like kind of shard of metal sticking out that again I just impaled myself with. Now again, once you notice it, take a little bit of sandpaper to it for about 5 seconds and then it's gone. It's not really an issue, but that's something that definitely needs to be spoken about. And as much as I happen to enjoy the knife, I have a lot of bad to say about this sheath. Now don't get me wrong, it holds it just fine. It retains it just fine. It's not going anywhere. And again, for the price, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it could be so much more. Also, and this is just kind of irks me, this is the way you have to carry it. Again, SOG right here, and here's SOG upside down. That's just me. Might just be me personally. I happen to like everything symmetrical. So to have this upside down, it immediately irked me, but oh well. Now, this does offer you the option to be able to stick a Torx wrench in there and to be able to move the clip. When I did that, a piece of it snapped off almost immediately. Again, for as good as the ergonomics are on this knife and how much it really impressed me, this sheath is absolutely trash. I'm actually probably going to do a giveaway with this knife and probably make a sheath or have somebody make a sheath for me, because so they can actually carry this knife the way it's meant to be carried. Because this is just not okay. This is actually hot glued in the position it's currently in, so it's supposed to be able to, twist it around and you can kind of carry it scout style. But we are just fixed like this now because, again, this sheath is crap. Now, the steel on this is decidedly middle of the road. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have no idea what steel this is. I don't see any markings on it. The ones I looked at online had everything from 440C, 154 CM to 8CR13 MOV. So I'm not sure which one this is. I will say that I was able to put a screaming sharp edge on it almost immediately, and I dulled it in about a day and a half. So whatever it is, it's very, very soft. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just something to take into consideration. If you want to have a knife you don't have to sharpen on a regular basis, this is probably not the way you want to go. If you happen to enjoy sharpening or you want to get familiar with sharpening as a whole, you definitely can't go wrong with a SOG Instinct. So my overall score on this knife, if I just had to score the knife, again, not counting the fit and finish of it all because I had to sand that piece off and some other little things here and there, but just the overall design of it, I would honestly give this knife a 9. Just it fits so well in my hands and it all locks in so perfectly in ways that just genuinely and truly surprise me to this day. Now, as far as the company as a whole, as the package as a whole, again, the fit and finish issues. If you happen to get this knife, I would highly advise you to give it a once over, to like basically to check the edges, to just gently do this and to feel a whole bunch of different lines, because things you won't be able to feel like that as soon as you do this and you actually start bearing down on this knife, you are going to cut yourself and you are going to hurt yourself, and that's not really okay at all. On top of that, this is probably the cheapest sheath I have ever used. Again, it's not an expensive knife, but at the same time, like, just put a little bit of care. It's not that hard. Reverse the logo. There's a bunch of different things you could do that wouldn't cost a whole lot of money. So my overall score on this knife is going to be a 7. Now, that is just a testament to how much a few different problems can add up. And again, something like this, which is an integral part of the knife, this is how it all comes, this is how it sells, this is how it comes from the factory. It can knock it down from a 9, which is a fantastic score. Again, that qualifies as amazing on my scorebook, to a 7, which is just good. It's okay. It's not bad by any means, but it's just okay. Now, if you do grab this knife and you get your own sheath made for it, I honestly and truly recommend this knife. I'm really looking for a fixed blade like this that is with a much better steel and is preferably not SOG, because I hate the billboarding. So if you guys happen to know any makers that make knives like this, by all means, please let me know. I will probably go ahead and buy one, because who knew? I like a small knife. So as always, I love you all very much, folks. Thank you for your time, your likes, your support, your subscribes, your comments. I do enjoy talking to you all. Please do the best you can to be a better person in these hard times. Be the difference you want to see in others. And most of all, be safe and take care of one another. As always, I love you all, and bye.